do you guys let Kyle know?
Want to move our car?
I'm almost wondering if we can park in the house.
I think we've got to unscrew. Could we just unscrew?
What do you mean?
It doesn't click in, it breaks it.
Just tighten it back up.
Hold on, 1 second, Mayor. Sorry. Now.
You guys want to squeeze it down? There's, hey, Rick. Come on. Give me 1 second.
Everybody sit?
Everyone's all set? Okay, so I'm going to provide some updates on the overall situation. I'm going to hand it over to Chief Alston, the fire chief, and then Rick Fontana, and then there's a lot of other folks here that are available to answer questions. So at around 12:38 today, 3 calls came in to 911, 2 from individuals that were on the site and 1 from a passerby about a partial collapse of a building. They were doing a concrete pour on this building, and as they were pouring concrete, a portion of the second floor collapsed onto the first floor and then into the basement. The person count working on the site is 36 individuals. 7 were injured. And at the time they left the scene, 2 were in critical condition. Some background on this building and the size of this building and details of the building. So the building is owned by RMS companies, and they have a ground lease on the building that is owned by Yale University, but the building itself and the construction project is led by RMS buildings or RMS companies. It's a 112-unit residential building. There are 3 levels of parking garage, 2 underground, 1 on the first floor, and then above that is 7 stories of residential. The total square footage of the building is 112,000 square feet. So moving forward, there will be a significant investigation, as with any construction situation like this. OSHA is already on scene, and OSHA is the statutory body that will be investigating what occurred here to ensure that it won't occur again. In addition, New Haven Police Department, whenever there's a serious injury, will also conduct an investigation. There will be Obviously, work is shut down. There will be a stop work order issued today to RMS companies, and we're encouraging residents to stay out of the area. Before I hand it over to Chief Alston, I did want to take a moment to thank the New Haven Fire Department, who responded immediately and ensured that there were not other people in the building and helped facilitate people getting out of the building, transporting along with AMR the individuals to the hospital. And the New Haven Police Department, Yale representatives are here as well. I wanted to thank them for their assistance with this matter. Chief Alston.
Thank you, Mayor. As the mayor stated, 12:38, 3 calls came in through our dispatch center. 1 was a passerby who heard a loud noise and crash and said they believed the building was falling down, that it was a partial collapse, and then 2 from the work area. Our units responded immediately within minutes and found several persons in varying degrees of injury, from broken bones to 3 that were partially buried under the rubble. What was occurring at the time was a concrete and cement pour, and what happens is you have workers up there who are spreading it as it's being applied to that level. It appears from their statements that it began to pool in a certain area faster than they could, and it caused it to cave all the workers that were in that area. Some walked away. Chief Bielecki was in charge of the scene. They performed the initial rescues, which we do by our process of removing surface victims first, getting accountability, shutting all work down, making sure that the vibrations stop. We want to keep everyone out of this area. That building is still in a dangerous state for us to do the investigations. Those persons that were trapped had to be lifted out by the rescue company and the truck companies and engine companies because of the level that they fell from and through. One of the problems that you have with wet concrete is having to do the searches before it hardens. So the accountability count was important. So we were able to communicate with the foreman here, foreperson here, to make sure that they had accountability for their folks. And we're in communication with the hospital at this time. But I want to thank our crew in the rescues and Chief Bielecki and Coughlin for the extreme care that it takes to remove people from that. It's sharp rebar, plus one of the walls is still unstable. They did some excellent work under some harrowing conditions. I'm very proud of that, considering what happened in Iowa recently. We've been talking about collapses in our areas, and they responded admirably.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Chief. Just wanted to. Accountability of victims. When you have the amount of victims, we were unsure, working together with the contractor to ensure that everyone was accounted for. There are a lot of people here working really hard. Again, American Medical Response, New Haven Fire Department, Police Department, a lot of hard work goes into an incident of this nature. I want to really, again, between American Medical Response, we had the Yale New Haven Hospital physicians team here on scene. Also, OSHA is here, the New Haven building official, the Connecticut Department of Emergency Management and Homeland Security, Yale University Police, Yale University fire inspectors, senior management from Yale University, and a special thanks to the Tweed Tower. As you may have seen, we had a helicopter flying over the scene, and we're very concerned that that may have shifted things in that building, so they were able to get that helicopter out of here in a quick amount of time. So a lot of work goes into this effort. A lot of thanks goes out to the hard work the men and women here did today, and I'll turn it back over to Mayor Elliker.
Any questions for James?
Mayor, can you just confirm how many people were pulled out? Because we have reports that 6 were pulled out, but that Yale New Haven is treating 7. So I just want to see if you can help clarify that.
So the information we have is 7 people were injured. 2 of them, when they left the scene, were in critical condition.
And what was this building going to be? You said Yale University.
No, so the ground lease is Yale University. So Yale owns the ground. However, the building itself is owned by RMS companies. The building is intended to be a 7-story residential building, 2 parking floors below ground, 1 parking floor above ground, and above that is 7 stories of residential. RMS Realty is the same company that owns the building behind you, and in general, this building, kind of size and shape, is very similar to the building that's behind you.
How many of the injured were construction workers?
All of them, correct. Yes.
Do you know what's the name of the company that they're working for? Was the subcontractor of RMS?
So RMS is on their way, and they should answer that question for you, because I just want to confirm that we have the right company.
How many people did you say were inside at the time?
There were 36 people on the building site. I can't say how many were inside versus around the building, but there are 36 people that were on site at the time.
Were any firefighters injured in the rescue?
No, thank God. Just exhausted.
What's the difference between the time of collapse and the last person being injured?
Roughly 45 minutes. Roughly 45 minutes.
Does today's heat play into recovery efforts at all, with the cement pour or anything? Is that playing into this effort? The heat today?
In terms of the heat today, no. This was just a standard cement pour that got away from them into an area. I'll wait for the final investigation. But from the debris that we're able to see, we get the benefit of a drone. We're able to look at the debris, and it looks as if all of that pooled to one side while they were pushing, and all of them in that area went in.
Do you know what all the permits for building are up to speed here on this website?
So we've already started reviewing to ensure that our permit process was done properly. Typically on a site like this that is complex, when they do a concrete pour, they have a third-party inspection company as well on site, and we're reviewing that as well. I don't know if you want to add anything there, Bob, or this is Bob Dillon, our building inspector.
All right. Yeah, I personally have been on site myself. We've done multiple inspections on the site. It's at the early stages of the site. They're just pouring the concrete now. They're up about 2 stories. But at this point, we're going to let OSHA take over, and we're just going to issue a stop work order. And they're not going to start work until they come back into the building department when we speak about this matter.
And then one last question for me. I know Yale has said that there was 1 critical, and I know you all had mentioned that there was 2 critical.
So obviously it's a developing situation. When people left the scene, there were 7 people injured. 2 of them were in critical condition. We'll be monitoring the situation, and obviously we're really concerned about the people that were working on site and hope that they recover. But we'll be keeping an eye on it, and we'll share additional information as we can with you all as well.
Sorry, Mayor. And just to clarify, 6 were pulled out by fire officials, correct?
That's correct.
Was this meant for the garage portion of the building? Do you know what? Was this for the garage portion of the building?
No, this was the very first of the residential floors.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
I heard it third hand, 773, but I heard it third hand, so I don't want to.
Okay, well, but that's what I heard as well.
Randy Salvatore.
Actually called the county manager.
Okay, so he's on his way.
Oh, yeah.
30 minutes out.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. Always
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything so far, like any any complaints about about the site, what are any issues to the site right before you, or not? Right?
Yeah. That I would defer to the building.
So just to clarify, I just wanted to clarify the matter. 7 were injured, 6 were pulled out.